boys and girls. Today is Monday, July 6th. If it's noisy, forgive me, but it's very hot outside, so I'm running air conditioning in my free mobile office. I love this setup. I got water over here. I got hundreds of satellite channel over here, music, news. You see, I got BPM, which is dance music, some jazz, some chill, blend, and then I'm listening to some news. And the topic of today's video is this. Probably about once a month people ask me what I use for we're gonna go like this, right? Why not? So about once a month people ask me what I use for GPS. So not enough room in here, see? Trying to fit this. See, and it's very hot. Oh, that's why. It's at 29 degrees right now, so which is what, 77, 78. And finally the mall, our shopping center, opened. So you see in the distance is Hudson's Bay. So this is it's called Cambridge Center. This thing is called Cambridge Center. And inside it's like the old style mall, but it's pretty big actually inside, like very high ceilings. But I was thinking about this, that it's time to update my my tablet. And I just got a few months ago I got a brand new one from Verizon, right? Because I got tired of the fees they charge me when I cross the border, and Verizon does not give you enough data in Canada, so basically you have to use two providers, one for Canada, one for US. I find that works much easier in terms of data. Like conversation, phone is okay. I can use my Verizon phone in Canada, no problems. But in the fine print says if they catch you doing more than 50% of your conversations in Canada, they can apply some penalties. They have some crazy rules, but I mean, mostly it's like my backup phone. You see, like right now I only have my Rogers Canadian phone, LG phone, which is my main phone, and I like LG. I had an LG TV before, and my main tablet, right, that's what I'm using for navigation. And I mentioned this before many times, like some people say, how do you use Google Maps for navigation if it's only for cars? I do mostly permitted loads, right, loads under permits, and so I don't need the truck route GPS, because I have to follow the route on my permit. If they catch me off route, I can get a big fine, and so then I can just use navigation points and I create the same route as what it says on the permit I create in Google Maps. And I just think that that's the future. I used to be a big fan of GPS devices, and it was funny to me that when I talked to my brother in Russia, over there they skipped this whole generation of set in stone GPS devices, you know, like a standalone GPS device, like a navigation unit. And all over there in Moscow, he says, why are you doing this? Like, why do you need a GPS? Like, we're all using our phones in here. And at that point I thought it was too expensive and too crazy, but you know, and plus phones, you know, they overheat. Like now it's better, but still I don't want to use my phone if I'm driving like all day somewhere, you know, because I see the battery just I don't think they're designed for this. But whereas the GPS unit with no internet connection, right, just GPS, they stay cool. You don't have to worry about the battery because you can keep them plugged in. And so, but the problem is the maps, right? The most important thing is the maps. And I tried buying the ones where the maps can be updated. It's a nightmare to update them. It doesn't have enough memory because these maps are pretty big. Like I had quite a few issues when I tried to update maps, and so I just ended up I think I used like GPS for like probably 5 or 6 or more years, you know. And I found that the best way, it was cheaper to actually just buy a new one. So I was changing them every year or 2 years. When the new model would come out with the new map, I would buy that one and sell this one. And they were very easy to sell, right? But then eventually the prices went down, and I see everybody started using tablets. You know, when tablets came out, I was not a big fan because I prefer to work on the screen. In my particular case, I need the keyboard. I need to be able to, you know, upload files, make movies, right? Yeah, a regular email, regular internet browsing you can do on the tablet, but the computer for me is much more useful. And so I never went for all this, you know, tablet revolution when it happened a few years back. But then a friend of mine started using these tablets for logbooks, for navigation, and I asked him, I said, what are you using? He says, oh, I just got this. And he also, with Rogers, you know, local, we have a few local providers here, Rogers, Bell, Thales, you know, these guys. And so Rogers, Bell are probably the bigger ones. And so I went with Rogers for my phone before I used Bell, and then I asked them about tablets, and they gave me the 7-inch LG, what was it called? LG something, but it was like super nice, right? I have the connection for it on the dash, I have the bracket, and so I use it mainly for my e-log and for Google Maps, right? But it was getting old. Quite often, especially in cold weather, it would start acting erratically, you know, like when I try to, you know, do my pre-trip, and even without touching the screen, it starts doing something weird, like opens various apps. And again, this whole especially during winter. In winter it was happening a lot when you know, I don't run the engine, right, and the tablet gets very cold, and then it just acts crazy, like I said. And then some guy left a comment saying that this might be caused by the old battery because it pushes on the screen in the back. But this was definitely something, because, you know, it's a touch screen, right? And, you know, like, let's say this is not a touch screen. I don't think this one is, well, actually it is a touch screen, right? So over here I can choose this stuff, right? But imagine if I just approach my finger, and all of a sudden it starts opening apps that I didn't ask it to open. You see, like over here, apps, right? Without touching, nothing is happening, right? But on the tablet, even though I don't want to open it, I don't want to touch, let's say, calculator, all of a sudden things start popping up, like. And so finally I decided it was time to renew the tablet. And so this morning I left the Westin Harbor Hotel in Toronto. That was a terrific, awesome weekend. You know, I didn't drink any alcohol. I just had coffee. I just had my meat and fish, my, you know, special carnivore diet, and I did some cooking inside my room with my toaster oven. Beautiful. I walked probably, I don't know, walked and biked probably 10 kilometers, 6 miles over the weekend, and took a bunch of pictures. You know, it was really relaxing just to forget about trucking. Except I did my books. I just maybe spent like 1 hour doing something business related, But other than that, I was, you know, walking around, taking pictures, riding a bike, watching the huge TV. And the TV over there, I never saw a TV like this where you can actually, well, actually I did. So this is the second time I run into a huge flat screen LG TV where when you go through channels, it says YouTube. Okay, so I watched a couple of my videos on a huge flat screen just to see how they look. They look awesome. And then it says Netflix, sign in. But I didn't want to leave my password there because then I'd have to change it because you cannot sign out. That's what happened last time when I signed in, and then I just ended up changing the password because I don't want people to watch Netflix on my account, right? Because you have to pay for it. So anyway, it was awesome. And then I got in my car, drove 75 miles, 120 kilometers back to Cambridge. And you see the weather's beautiful, just light clouds, but super hot. Like I'm saying, plus 29 Celsius. And I went here. I did not know if the shopping center was open. I see lots of cars parked in the parking lot. That's always a good sign. I always put my mask on. I went inside and found Rogers. There's a big Rogers store in there, and I said, what kind of a 7-inch or 8-inch tablets do you have? And he says they only had 2 models. They had this one, which is a Samsung Tab A, and they had the I forgot the brand, but it was 10-inch. It's much bigger. I don't want that. I want this because this does not block your view when it sits on the dash in the truck, right? And so this is of course a wireless model, so it'll be always connected to the internet. And you see what it is. So Samsung Galaxy Tab A 8.4, 32 gigs of RAM, the charger, the cable, and quick start guide. All right, that's what it is. So I'm pretty sure that's what I have from Verizon. I like LG better, but if they don't have it, you know, what are you gonna do, right? So let me see. Well, if you see too much white stuff in the back, don't worry about it. Anyway, the best part about this was that the tablet, it's like free financing. Either you pay 300 something Canadian upfront, or it's financed over 2 years at $15 a month, 0 interest. And he says, yeah, it's 15 times 24 plus tax, and you don't gain anything if you pay up front. So I said, okay, let's do financing. And then they charge you $10, which I've been already paying with my existing tablet, $10 to share your plan with the phone. And the guy says, hey, as a promotion, I'm gonna give you extra 5 gigabytes. Like I have now 50 gigabytes because quite often I use the phone to upload videos, right? And this guy says, well, we have a bonus here because of you buying this. He says, I'm gonna give you, instead of 50 now, you have 55 gigabytes. I said, cool. And so yeah, I didn't pay anything in the store, and they were very careful because of this COVID-19. When I enter, they asked me to sanitize my hands, and also they asked me to sanitize my driver's license. So, and then on the way out, I sanitized them again to show that I don't trust them either. Anyway, let's see. I didn't see inside, so let's see how it looks. Yeah, it looks like this. See inside. This little tab. What? And that's it. That's the entire tablet. And the rest is looks like almost like an Apple product. The charger, the cable, and I'm guessing there's a quick start guide, which nobody ever reads. But yeah, the charger, the tablet, I'm not gonna even use this because I'm in the truck. So, but I got a USB connector, so I can. Oh wait, so yeah. So this is a USB thing, so it'll plug into my dash. So the receipt was, oh yeah, 360 minus discount 360 for because of financing 0. You saved $360. Yeah, right. I still have to pay you, but you know. No, but again, you know, when they don't charge you interest, right? Like, what's the point? Why would I want to give them $360 if it's oh, check this out. It's like, looks like a little envelope. And I don't think the guy even opened it, because I said, you know, I did not bring my old tablet, so I don't have the SIM card, right? So it's metal gray, I'm guessing. So it even has a camera, so you can actually do videos, right? But, and I said, please, just to ask you a stupid question, this is we're talking about a wireless model, right? Not just Wi-Fi. And he says, yeah. And of course, that's the beauty of buying a tablet from a place like Rogers or Bell, your cellular provider, because they know that you're looking for a wireless model. Whereas if you go to a store like a Best Buy or Apple retail store, you might see two different types of the same tablet, right? One would say Wi-Fi only or wireless, you know, then you choose your provider. So very important, right? I don't need Wi-Fi, I don't want Wi-Fi, I want a fully wireless model. And where's the, this one has no screen protection. That's not good. What, they don't even give you anything from the factory? Where's the, no, I don't see anything. I think the screen is the same in terms of resolution, right? So it just has so you can hook up your earphones in there, and there's these two buttons over here, and pretty much that's it, and the camera. Right, and so you start it by one of these, and also these act as a volume, right, up and down. I think this one is the start, and then it's all touch screen, so you go through the screen. But I might use it for some videos, but it's a bit awkward to hold it like this, you know. But we'll see. So anyway, so there you have it. So this is going to be my new GPS in my truck, right? So just using Google Maps, and of course I'll have to download, make sure I have the latest version of Google Maps, and keep tracking. That's what I'm using for E-log. And I'm not gonna even set up email in here, because I never send or receive emails from the tablet. But what I do have on my current one is books, Google Books. Very handy, you know, because this thing, it's so much easier to charge compared to the computer, right? So I find that you know, this one you can just plug in USB cable and it'll be charging it, whereas if I try to use the USB cable with the laptop, it doesn't want to charge because it needs this big charger. And so this is great, you know, if you want to just relax in your sleeper and run a USB cable. I'm just reducing the temperature a little bit because it's getting hot, even though this, like, what? Oh, it's because I know why. Because I wanted to reduce the noise from the top. See, and so yeah, now we have finished recording. So you see now, as soon as you switch to auto and maximum AC, it does this. So the air coming out of here, right? Because hot air is at the top, and so it sends the cold air this way. Because yeah, it was I chose you know, air coming from the bottom, and it was getting very hot. So anyway, that's my new purchase. 0 down, 0 interest, so why not, right? Samsung Tab A. Look forward to working with this thing, and hope it doesn't give me any issues. And looks like the model is 8.4. It's a Samsung Galaxy Tab A, and then in brackets it says 8.4. Again, this is Canada, right? I'm in Canada, so I'm pretty sure probably in the States this would be the same model as offered by AT&T or T-Mobile. It runs on the similar network here, not like Verizon, right? It's a different network. And that's it. So I kind of relaxed a little bit today. I did my books for June, and now I still have to do my IFTA because quarter number 2 ended, and I think I did like 50%. I did all the calculations on paper. Now I just need to enter it in the computer and then send the letter to the IFTA office in Oshawa. Oh, and the last thing I did, DOT sent me a reminder that my 2-year update is due for my authority. And in the letter they send you very detailed instructions on how to do it online. They give you the PIN number and, you know, step 1, step 2, step 3. And I think it took me like 10 minutes to submit an update, so now I'm all, you know, legal. Everything is good. Well, I was legal before, but the deadline was like August. If I hadn't submitted this update, it's called MCS 150, they could have suspended my account. So now we're all good. So anyway, so I'm gonna go have some kefta, some Lebanese food. It's a meat dish. They open at 12 o'clock. Time now is 12:53. So we're gonna have some kefta, and then we're gonna deal with IFTA for quarter 2. Well, I'm charging the LG. Picked it up at my truck, and that picture, I took that picture in Buffalo, in New York, I think, myself. So just use it as a desktop, and so on this one I had to replace the cable. The cable stopped charging, and now it's when I tried to reset it, it said, you know, reset it to the factory condition, remove all my data. It said needs to be at 30% on the battery. And this one, I don't want to start it because the SIM card is still in my LG, but you see they look very similar, except the cable is white and the charger is white. Well, actually, wait, it's white over there as well, right? But same size. I just checked the specs. The resolution is the same on the screen. So, but it's time. Oh, and I checked the date. Turns out I bought this one in October 17th, 2016. So time to move on.